Hello everybody, this is Uppish, and welcome to my 2019 year in review. Now, this has been a great year for me, guys. Seriously, a magnificent year. At the start of this year, I basically was not in the greatest place of mind. I was living in not the greatest conditions. Right at the beginning of the year, I was living in my grandpa's yard in a camper out in the boonies of my little hometown. I'm not going to tell you where my little hometown is because I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the greatest place to live. I was having such a hard time at that time. While I was happy to have my own place living in my camper, it was far too small for me. The living conditions weren't great for my self-esteem in the slightest. I was living basically a very, well, while it wasn't too difficult, a very tedious life. My grandpa's water was well water, and it wasn't even regular well water. This was like very murky well water. It wasn't actual pure water. It was a lot of iron and mud, like filtered iron water, and it stunk so bad. It stained my skin with stink. I lived in such horrible, why do I say horrible? I lived in not the greatest conditions. I'm going to tell you, I was happy. For the most part, when it came down to being able to live next to my grandpa and uncle, made me happy to take care of them when I could. There were days where I was annoyed and irritated, but I was happy. But eventually, life started becoming a little too taxing on my mental health and self-esteem. Home felt less and less like home after I moved into that camper. Living in such a small space as such a tall and big person, I wasn't too happy with it. After that, me and my mom and dad moved into a bigger place, our own home out in the middle of, well, out on the edges of, let's just say, Kentucky. That was fun for a while, but eventually me and my family started butting heads. We did this for about, I think, 2 months. Then we moved back into our home, around our hometown in Indiana. However, this time we moved over to a trailer park. Due to my disability and the way we were wanting to live, I eventually had to figure out how to move out, and I started to move into my own trailer in this trailer park. Well, there were some problems that came with this, and I'm just gonna say this, some legal problems came up. Thankfully, these legal problems were resolved. I'm not going to get into the details, but the legal problems got resolved at the expense of us having to move out. I'm not too sure. I don't think I lost any money out of it, thankfully. Or maybe I have. I'm not too sure if I remember if I did, but there was some trouble that came out with that. Listen to that chipper music in the background. I know this isn't the greatest music to be playing in the background, but for something like as sentimental as this, but I'm getting into the good part now. So, after this was when I finally we finally got my apartment. It took a while. I was living with my grandma after this for, let's say, a couple weeks to a month or more, and my mental health was declining at exuberant rates. I was feeling depressed. I was ruining my grandmother's home life. I was terrified that my grandmother was going to die because she had an incident with her physical health, and it scared the living hell out of me. So my mental health was horrible. Eventually, we finally managed to get into this apartment, and I have been here ever since. And ever since then, my mental health has finally been increasing. My mental health is the best it's probably ever been. Not my physical health? My physical health, I'm not too sure. That's a topic for another day, maybe. But my mental health and, like, my overall positivity in life has improved drastically. Far better than it's ever been since I was younger. The channel, you guys, anybody that's new here might not know this, but I've been doing YouTube for probably more than almost for pretty much almost 4 years now. Is honestly the greatest thing for me. The fact that I've been able to move into this place. It is seriously so amazing to me to be able to live my own life the way I want to. Nobody telling me what I should or shouldn't do. Nobody telling me that something is out of my reach. Nobody telling me that I'm going to be stuck somewhere, or nobody telling me that I'm something that I'm not in a great place. Nobody telling me that I can't be something that I want to be. I want to be a chef. If that doesn't work out, then I'll try to be I'm going to try to be a game creator, game designer. Well, yeah, like a developer, but I'm getting sidetracked, I'm sorry. This year has had its ups and downs, but for the most part, for the biggest part, my life has become the best it's ever been in my eyes. On Christmas Day, I went and spent the day with my aunt, uncle, and my family, my aunt and uncle's families. They held a Christmas party, and by gosh, I am so happy about it. Just I live next to them, like down the street, and being able to finally go and see them frequently, being able to spend time with them, and just overall having a good time, and being able to just, it makes me so happy. Just so happy to be able to spend time with them. That has brought positivity into my life. Them being so cheerful, them being able to, they uplift me, and not only that, but they help me with things, even though they have their own stuff to do. And I am so grateful for that. And not only that, but I'm able to now go out and see the world, see my town, see more of it, stuff that I haven't seen before, that I didn't know existed in my hometown. This has been so much on me, so much happiness. And a couple days after after my aunt and uncle's Christmas party came down to like just 2 days ago, or the day before yesterday, I had my official family Christmas party, which wasn't huge in the slightest. My mom and dad, they got their own place. It's a little ways out, but thankfully still in the same state, like, I don't know, half an hour to 45 minutes away, so it's not too far away. And while their house is small, it's quaint. I am honestly amused with them. I'm happy where they are, and I'm happy where I am. Dang it, I'm getting sidetracked again. I should say this. The Christmas party was so great. I finally got to see my family, my true family, my blood family come together. My brother, well, both my brother and my stepbrother, my sister, my niece and my nephew, mom and dad, my brother and sister-in-law, all of these people in my family I finally got to see together. My brother, my biological brother, lives a state, like a whole estate, like a whole state away. And being able to see him again, warms my heart so much. My sister and her husband. My sister is newlywed, and it makes me so happy for her and my brother, all three of us, plus my stepbrother, to be able to come together, because this is something that has not happened for years. And for the first time, I had no quarrels with my brother. Not a single quarrel, and I usually do. Usually after a day or two, I have some problem with my brother. Usually we end up butting heads by the end. We usually have a level of tolerance that we can have with each other. After a certain period of time, we usually butt heads. But we finally, for once, had no quarrels. And I was able to hug him, talk with him, just the whole family thing was fun. For Christmas, my mom got me a bunch of, not only did she give me a larger TV that I could have as my living room TV, she also got me some really useful house appliances. She got me a tea kettle that I really needed for whenever it came down to making tea and hot cocoa, which I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't drink soda or coffee anymore, so my caffeine comes out of coffee. Well, not coffee. I just said I don't drink coffee. My caffeine comes out of drinking tea and out of what I eat, which is, anything with sugar in it usually. If I'm not drinking tea or sparkling water, I'm drinking regular water. Sparkling water is carbonated flavored water. It's less than soda and coffee, but more than regular flavored water. But most of the time I just drink regular water or regular flavored water with a little low calorie flavor packet in it. Yet again, getting sidetracked. After we opened presents, we had dinner. And I loved dinner. It was delicious. My mom is an amazing cook. So is my dad. My dad, he sure as heck knows how to fry a turkey. If you've never deep fried a turkey whole, do it. Do it. It is freaking delicious. And if you cook it for just long enough at just the right temperature, it comes out juicy. The best turkey you'll get all year. And so was the ham. The ham was really good too. But this whole celebration we had together was amazing. I finally got to see my nephew after, I think, 2 years. Oh gosh. I say this almost constantly now. I still remember the day that he was born. I remember him being just so tiny with his his deep pink face, just born. I remember looking at him and just thinking how beautiful he was. I'd been there in the out in the hallway of the emergency room, or the birthing room, just waiting for hours. And I looked greasy. I didn't really feel all too greasy. Well, I felt greasy, but I feel like I looked that way. It was a very long night, and when I finally went in, my mother handed him to me for a bit, and I just couldn't help but looking at his sweet little face. Before I walked into the room, though, the nurses carted him out to to get him his first bath. And he had this one long toe. His big toe, I think it was on his left foot. His big toe was so long, it curled all the way around halfway around his foot. And it was so strange, but it was so... The whole experience was so beautiful for me. So, I cherish my nephew. I only recently just came to the realization that my niece on my niece that my brother has with his new wife, which was she had already had, so technically she's my niece. She's my step niece, but she's my niece, But I only just recently realized she's actually my niece, and realizing that I value her presence more than I had. Both of them, I cherish them. CJ, I admit, I cherish CJ more, but I do cherish them both so much, and I will learn and gain the knowledge to cherish my niece far more now that I do have that realization that she is my niece. I love them both, and I would willingly die for them. I would willingly sacrifice myself for them, because they are truly important to me. Truly important to me. And now I'm getting into the last part. The end. Before everybody started leaving, we all decided to have family pictures. I am so happy to have had family pictures with them. Just being able to wrap my arms around them and take a picture, to have a picture taken. These were really good pictures too. I have them saved on my phone and Facebook. But they are... Gosh, I'm so happy to have gotten them taken. Oh gosh, guys, I know it's been over 20 minutes. Well, for me it's been, but I might edit it down some. But I have, tears in the back of my eyes. Just rethinking it again. This is the third or fourth time rethinking it. But once we had the pictures taken, we all started heading out. And I had my brother follow me home so that he could see my apartment. That was amazing to hear the words come from him. He said that my apartment is great. He acknowledged all the work I have done to get where I am today, to finally have broken off of my mother's hip. Yes, she does care for me still, and she helps me to pay the bills, but still, as far as I'm aware, it is me that made this effort to get here where I am today, to be able to live in this apartment, live close to the people I love, and do the things I want to do finally, and not be restricted, and not have to worry about my own problems, to finally be able to live the way I want to. And this makes me so happy. Now, this is all of this is completely unrelated to the channel. However, well, ever since my overall positivity in life has been rising, so has my content channel quality. As you all have seen, the people that have been here on the channel and watching my channel grow, you've all seen the improvement that my channel has made. The improvements my channel has made. We have gone through strides. We have strode across months upon months of starting out with hardship. Heck, years of hardship. And we are finally at a good point where not only is my life quality, but my channel quality has hit an all-time high. Thank you all, both old. Now, before I end this here, before I end 2019 and jump straight into 2020, I want to thank you all of you, both old and new. Thank you all for coming to the channel, for joining me on this journey, for sticking it out for the whole ride. Thank you all so much for being here with me, for being here through thick and thin. Those of you that have are honestly cherished to me. Thank you all. And thank you all that are new for joining the channel, for joining the UppishGames channel. And I have plans for 2020. Hopefully, I'm really hoping my plans will succeed, because 2020 to me is hopefully going to be an even just as good or an even better year. And not only that, in April, I'm going to be turning 22. Isn't that something? I'm looking forward to this coming year, and I hope you all will be too. Thank you all for sticking this out with me, for watching this year in review. This is probably going to be a little bit difficult to edit, but hopefully we will be able to edit regardless. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have an amazing New Year's Day. So, without further ado, I will see you later. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.